And rough sleeping fell from 2022 levels last year, still concentrated around HDB estates and other public spaces. And for more on that story, we're joined by Chia Choong Yeen, who is a Director of Residential Support and Licensing Division at the Social and Family Development Ministry. Choong Yeen, welcome to the show. Now, we know there's a $450,000 fund that's been announced to help the rough sleepers and those who are homeless right now. What kind of programs will be introduced with this funding?
Yes, so the 450,000 PAF Fund, that is the name that we called it. This is for the community partners to trial innovative ways to address the underlying cause of rough sleeping. So some of the programs that we are looking at ground-up initiatives by the community partners. So it could be wraparound services around, say, employment support. It could be counselling services. It could be providing more community spaces just for our rough sleepers to have social connections. So we are very open to whatever innovative ideas that our community partners can surface to us.
I'm curious as to what gaps you think the ministry is looking to fill here. Are there any immediate objectives that are top of mind?
Yes, one of our key concerns, as you can see from the survey findings from the Rough Sleeper Street Count report, was we are quite concerned about entrenchment of rough sleeping. So as you can see from the findings that more than about 77% of the survey respondents, they had been rough sleeping for more than a year, and that's an area of concern. So through the efforts with some of the community partners, we wanted to go in early to identify some of these rough sleepers, and we wanted to get them back on track real quickly. So therefore, some of the interventions that we have really evolved around early intervention, how to identify them early, how to diversify some of our touch points so that we can reach out to the rough sleepers, and also then bring them into the shelters early, which was one of the findings in the IPS study as well. Shelters, they are very good enablers to facilitate exit from homelessness.
Now, speaking of those shelters, right, 4 in 5 of those surveyed said that they never stayed in a shelter. And then the remainder of 13% of them, they said they're not receptive to doing so again. So how does the ministry plan to encourage more rough sleepers to use these shelters? We hear there's going to be some funding allocated to improving the condition of the shelter.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah, so it's very interesting that most of them, they were unreceptive, but in fact, they have never stayed in a shelter. So there were some misconceptions about shelters. And first and foremost, they think that the shelters had very stringent rules, exit and entrance rules. They think that they would lose their freedom if they move into our shelters. So firstly, we are ramping up and raising awareness and trying to debunk some of the myths of our shelters. That's the first thing, through more comms and engagement. That's first and foremost. And second thing, the feedback from the rough sleepers, because we did a poll with the rough sleepers, and the feedback was that firstly, they feel that there's not sufficient privacy within the shelters. And secondly, they feel that there's not sufficient storage space because they need to share the facilities with some other tenants within the shelters. So we took in their feedback, we hear them. We have enhanced our shelters to provide more private space as well as more storage space. And we are going to replicate some of these enhancements in the newer shelters going forward.
Now, Choong Yeen, you mentioned earlier early intervention was very important. And we know that actually half of the respondents cited disagreements with family, friends, or people they also cohabitate with in a house. What do you think can be done to tackle these issues up front? Or is it really more about providing options for shelters and better shelters?
Yes, Angela, you are completely correct to say that shelter is not the only solution to resolve rough sleeping issues. These issues are very, very complex, and most of it arose because of disagreements and family conflicts and disagreements with family members. That's why it's very important for them to come into our shelters, because it's not just about providing a roof over their head. In our shelters, we provide on-site social work intervention at the same time. So we do work with the shelters, the social service agencies, as well as the family service centers to address the underlying root cause of rough sleepings. So we will do counselling. we will provide social interventions and we will journey with them to address some of these underlying issues.
Well, thank you so much for shedding some light on this issue with us, Choong Yeen. I've been chatting with Chia Choong Yeen, who is from the Social and Family Development Ministry.